Am I the asshole for not asking my mother-in-law nicely to hand over the baby for feeding? Hi, I'm a new mom. I had my son 5 weeks ago. My husband's parents have been staying with us, and things have been super overwhelming. My mother-in-law has a habit of taking the baby and refusing to give him back to me. She'd say I'm deliberately ruining her time with him. My son needs feeding every 2 hours, and she basically makes me beg her to hand him over to me so I could feed. Last night, around 10 p.m., my mother-in-law had my son in her arms while sitting on the couch with my husband and his dad. I was exhausted. The baby started crying. I told my mother-in-law to hand him over to me so I could feed him. She refused, and I kept asking. My husband starts talking about what a whiny little girl I was to complain that our son is receiving love and cuddles, and how I'm using feeding as an excuse to keep the baby away from his mom. I ignored him and told his mom to hand over the baby. She refused and said I needed to wait a little longer. I got angry at this point. My husband said I could take the baby after I asked his mom nicely. This had me seething. I meanly told his mom to stop being annoying and overbearing and hand him over to me. She looked at me shocked and hurt. She handed the baby over and ran into the guest room, and my husband gave me a look, then followed her and stayed inside to comfort her. He came into the room while I was feeding my son and started yelling about how disrespectful I was to speak to his mom this way and treat her poorly when all she's doing is showing our son more love than I do. I told him about how she's been taking the baby for hours and preventing me from feeding him properly. He said that 1, our son isn't an object for me to act like I own him, and 2, his mom was doing nothing wrong, and 3, I should have asked nicely instead of being a B to his mom and making her cry. I started crying and yelled that I'd go to my mom's place if his parents stay any longer, and he yelled back saying, "Shut the F up. You're only acting up because you don't want my parents around. What the F is wrong with you?" Then walked out. I felt terrible, thinking maybe I was rude to his mom, but I also think that I had hit my limits here. I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for not asking her nicely like my husband wanted? And the top comment coming in with 65,000 upvotes. Not the asshole. Pack your gear and take baby to your parents. Rethink your relationship as well. Who the hell speaks to their wife like that, especially after having a baby? Protect your mental and physical health at all cost. Next comment, 50,000 upvotes. OP, your husband is prioritizing his mother's emotional wants over your 5-week-old baby's physical needs. Get out now. This is only going to escalate, and he's already shown his own child isn't his top priority. That's not normal. That is terrifying. Next comment, 15,000 upvotes. Yes, who the hell berates his wife in front of his parents for a biological necessity and then starts yelling and cussing in a room with a newborn in it? Not the asshole, but OP needs to get out now. And I hope the husband doesn't get any type of custody. Sometimes the worst in people comes out after a child is born. Next comment, 10,000 upvotes. It is far too common that abusers don't let down the facade of loving spouse until their soon-to-be victim is forever tied to them with a child. If OP's husband didn't show his true colors until the baby arrived, the speed with which he is escalating, this is severely alarming. It's for this reason OP needs to leave now. She needs to either have her parents show up, help her pack the necessities, and leave, or if her parents aren't able to, she needs the police to assist in a smooth exit. Next comment, 20,000 upvotes. Not the asshole at all, and I'm very alarmed at your husband calling you a whiny little girl for trying to feed your child and then attempting to prevent him from being fed, even when he was crying until you asked his mother nicely for permission to feed your own child. You seriously need to evaluate if this is a safe environment for your child to be raised in. Next comment, 11,000 upvotes. Call your parents to come get you. I worry that this guy and his parents would escalate things if you signaled that you were leaving without someone there to support you and back you up. They might try to stop you from taking your child with you. Call your parents so that they can be there with you while you pack you and your baby's things to leave. And my vote, this girl is definitely not the asshole. My heart goes out to her. I hope that she goes to her parents, and I hope she leaves. This was just posted 2 days ago, so this is still pretty recent. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think they're the asshole? Am I the asshole for ruining my wife's work and eating the food before she could take pictures of it? My wife runs a website dedicated for cooking and recipes. She takes pictures of food before we eat, whether it's lunch or dinner, and posts them to her Insta account. To be honest, I'm annoyed by having to wait so long for her to get the perfect shot of the food after decorating it, adding this fork and removing that salad dish, etc. It just takes so long, and I lose my appetite from just waiting till she's done. This has become the norm, but yesterday I decided I was having none of it. I came home and found that she had cooked an entire feast as her quote unquote next cooking project and put it on the table. Note that by looking at the whole table setting, I figured pictures had already been taken, right? But no, she said she was going to take a few pictures and I had to wait. She went upstairs to get her camera. That is when I grabbed the spoon and started filling my plate from every dish she made and quote unquote ruining the look as a result. I was hungry and unwilling to wait around for 10 plus minutes to eat. She came downstairs, saw the damage, and blew up, almost crying, saying that I just ruined her cooking project that she worked hours for, as well as putting efforts into. I said I was hungry and couldn't wait, but she kept yelling how much of an obnoxious jerk I was for not waiting till she took the pictures of the dishes she made. Even said that this was an attempt of me to sabotage her success. I said, "Oh, please, enough with these conspiracy theories. I'm just hungry and couldn't wait till she got the perfect shot." We had a big argument and she went upstairs crying. I finished my food, then I went out to cool off for a bit. When I returned, she had threatened that she'll never have me eat anything she cooks and said she'd rather throw it in the garbage than give it to an ungrateful, obnoxious jerk like me. I said this wasn't cool, but she told me to go F myself. So I went upstairs, grabbed my headphones, went to the bathroom, and locked the door. Totally kidding. That's not what it says. I said, fine, then went to spend the night in the guest room. She texted me the word jerk about 15 times until I decided to turn my phone off. Today, she has gone complete radio silence. So am I the asshole for ruining my wife's work and eating the food before she could take pictures of it? And the top comment coming in with 62,000 upvotes. You're the asshole. What the actual F? Sounds like this is her job or at minimum an important hobby. Keep a Lunchable and a juice box in the fridge for when you need to act like a child. Next comment, 12,000 upvotes. This comment made me snort laugh. You're the asshole, OP, for F's sake. Next comment, 22,000 upvotes. You're the asshole. Dude, she worked hard on it and you couldn't wait a few minutes while she took pictures? If you can't stand the wait, then make your own food. You did do it to sabotage her since you knew that she hadn't taken any photos yet. Apologize to your wife. Next comment, 30,000 upvotes. Quote unquote, My wife cooks elaborate meals for me on a regular basis. I don't have to do anything, not even set the table, except wait for her to finish preparing the meal, which includes photographing it. I think making me wait 10 extra minutes on top of the hours it took her to make it while I did nothing is too high a price to pay. Am I the asshole? Yes, you're the asshole. Next comment, 10,000 upvotes. My favorite part was him somehow needing to cool off as if she had done anything to him and he had anything in the world to be upset about. I don't know if I even believe this post is real because it reads like a 14-year-old wrote it, but I sure hope that fresh air helped OP to calm down from having gotten what he wanted. That must have been so upsetting for him. Next comment, 10,000 upvotes. You're the asshole. If you're so annoyed by this, you have two options. 1, cook for yourself. 2, sit down and have an adult conversation about this with your wife. What you did was childish. Next comment, 8,000 upvotes. You're the asshole. The fact that you said so yourself that you purposefully destroyed her work that she made an effort for hours, mind you. You even went far by eating every single one. Just because you can't wait another 10 minutes? Want to eat as soon as you like? Then cook your own food. Gosh, how hard is it to cook a meal or just make an effing sandwich? I'll say this again for the people in the back. You are not entitled to make your wife your own chef or maid. This is her work. And technically, you're just a freeloader for her work. You just get to eat because she works. Cook your own dang food. And my vote, this guy is a mega a-hole. Does anyone have a husband like this? Let me know. Does anyone like cooking? What's your favorite dish?